Welcome back to the FC Magdeburg Career Mode Rebuild. Last season saw a league title and a promotion to the Bundesliga. Now the hard part begins when we face some of the biggest teams in Germany and some of the greatest squads put together in the world. Hopefully we're up for the challenge. So this is the team that will be taking us into the Bundesliga. Obviously, we need to make some replacements as Leipertz has gone down. Even though he did really well for us last season, he's gone from, I think, a 70 overall to a 66. He's getting up there in age. We do have some youth academy players coming through, but I don't think anyone's ready yet to step into the Bundesliga. So I think we'll have to improve the striker position, the right back position, because Emil Kraft was also loaned in from Newcastle. And of course, there's a hole in the midfield right now that Pavlovic left going back to Bayern Munich. Thankfully, our budget has been increased by 5 times from last year's amount, going up to £25 million for us to spend. With that type of money, we probably could buy Pavlovic, but that would be taking the entire budget to one player, and we have multiple holes to fill. Jumping over to the Youth Academy, I just want to quickly point out that EA has fixed one major bug so far, which is the Youth Academy goalkeepers having their diving skills be way lower than they should be for any goalie. As we can see here, I brought in Joshua Frenzer, and his diving is at 59, so that's actually doable. And this guy's, I think, our second best goalie in our academy right now. I kind of brought him in just so he can play in youth tournaments again, but at the same time, it's still pretty good. The main focus is, again, though, the 14 and 15-year-olds in Nico Richter, Javier Galano, and Nico Fischer. All having very good potentials, as well as Fischer, the striker, who could be promoted right now as well, but I think we'll let him sit and grow in the Youth Academy and not pull the trigger too quickly. The first signing we'll be making is covering that striker position in Davy Selke. This man won the Golden Boot in the Bundesliga too with 25 goals, and if he can do half of that in the Bundesliga, I'll be happy with that. Next man walking in the doors would be a familiar face, as we were able to agree another loan deal with Newcastle for Emil Kraft. He played really well for us last season at the right back position, and if need be, he's actually even better as a center back, so again, more versatility for the club. And this would be the big get of the summer transfer window. Merlin Roll from Freiburg for £16 million. There is a 5% sell-on clause as well, but I think this is an absolutely huge pickup. He'll become our best player immediately, and apparently we got an excellent deal, which we love to see. Apparently, best possible deal was 14.9. I doubt that, but still, getting him at £16 million was great. He's 77 overall rated, age 23. He's going to slot in and become a new star player. And the last player we're going to bring in for now is a Tottenham youngster who plays in the center of midfield. We secured another loan deal, this time for Lucas Bergvall, another 12-month deal. He is only 19 years old, but he's already 73 overall rated, and he'll probably slot into our starting 11 as well. We saw the 4 players we brought in for this new season, but we did have 3 players who left. Falco Michel went to Portland Timbers from the MLS, Lubambo Musanda followed him and went to San Jose, and Marcus Matheson went to Twente. So after all the transfer business is completed, this is what the starting 11 will look like to start the season. All 4 signings go directly into the starting 11. Emil Kraft basically takes his place back at the right back position, and Bergvall and Roll slot in the center midfielder, and Davy Selke leads the way up top. Taking a look at the first few games that are in store for FC Magdeburg, they are not easy ones. The first game of the season is against RB Leipzig, followed up by Gladbach, and then we'll have a familiar team in Dusseldorf, but then again it's Stuttgart and Borussia Dortmund. These will not be an easy opening 5 games. Before we jump into the highlights, we have to check one more crucial detail about this career mode. Now that we've made it to the top flight in Germany, the difficulty level is increased to ultimate, so we are facing much harder competition now on the hardest difficulty level as well. So hopefully we can still manage to get some wins this season. So without any further ado, let's jump into the first highlight pack of the new year. FC Magdeburg's first game would be welcoming RB Leipzig to MDCC Arena. And it would be the home side who would get the best chance, as Selke would get the ball played and he chests it down well, but puts his shot just wide, almost scoring on his debut right away. Into the second half, and it would be Magdeburg again with the best chance, but the ball is cleared off the line and kept out. This game would end 0-0, but it's FC Magdeburg's first point in the Bundesliga. Next would be a trip to Borussia Mönchengladbach, where it'd be again Magdeburg who would get the first chance of the game within the first 15 minutes. Jensen heads down the ball to Kremeshi, but his shot is partially blocked and saved by the keeper. Right before the end of the first half, the ball would eventually come to Leiner, who shows some creativity and tricky feet, fooling the back line of Magdeburg, and slots it by the keeper, making it 1-0, and that's how that one would end. Quickly jumping over to transfer deadline day, we would only make the one move. It would be for Rashid Ghezal, an experienced winger. We need some extra creativity on the wings, judging by how this season has started. I'm hoping he can be the answer. We also have players leaving as Felix Werner goes on loan, and striker Alexa Marusic goes out to Atletico Tucumán for just under £1 million. Focusing back on the Bundesliga now as we welcome Dusseldorf to the MDCC Arena, and it would be the away side who have the first chance of the game, but the shot is saved by Reimann and again followed up, gobbled up by the captain. Into the second half, it would be Dusseldorf again with another big chance, but it's again a big save by Reimann. Right after the hour, it would be Rashid Ghazal who's getting subbed on, and with literally his first kick in a Magdeburg shirt, he sends in a cross, and it's Linus Gechter who also gets his first goal for the club, giving Magdeburg their first lead of the season, and that would lead to the first 3 points for FC Magdeburg. Big result. Then it would be away to Stuttgart, another tough test for Magdeburg, and it would be the home side who would get on the board first as Dennis Undav has the ball in the penalty area. He squares it back. The ball will eventually come to Demirovic, and he slots it by Reimann, making it 1-0. And then just around the hour mark, it would be Undav again who's played in wide, and unselfishly again will slide it into Demirovic, who gets his second goal of the game, sealing this one 2-0 for Stuttgart. And lastly for now will be FC Magdeburg taking on Dortmund. It would be Dortmund who get on the board first as the ball is not properly dealt with. The ball comes to Malen, who is going to play the ball to Golovin, who gets it to Thuram, and this ball would eventually get all the way back to Malen, making it 1-0 Dortmund. And very late in this one, Dortmund would seal the game as the header goes off the bar. Once again, the ball is not properly cleared. It would eventually come to Julian Brandt, and he scores by the keeper, making it 2-0, and that's how that one would end. Flashing forward to other results, there'd be a 2-1 defeat to Leverkusen away, and a tough 2-0 loss to Hoffenheim at home. Taking a quick look at the standings after 7 games, and we are currently sitting in 16th position with only 4 points. We knew this was going to be tough, but I was hoping it was going to be a little bit easier than this. Taking another look at the calendar, our next game is against Augsburg, one of the 2 teams that are behind us, so hopefully we can get a result from that game. We'll have our first cup competition against Wolfsburg, and then a home game against Cologne and Bayern Munich. That'll be a very difficult task before Wolfsburg again. Our one free agent signing has gone to signing Amadou Diawara. The 28-year-old comes in at 72 overall rated and will help bolster our midfield. To the Youth Academy for a quick update, it looks like we might have found a potential superstar in Aaron Fisher, who's 17 years old, 62 overall rated, but his potential is 90 to 94. And with him being 17 years old, we might look to promote him sooner rather than later. Same thing with 17-year-old keeper Joshua Frenzer. Now back to the highlights. To match day 8, where FC Magdeburg will be taking on Augsburg. And in the 12th minute, it would be Jason Sika playing a nice 1-2 with Davy Selke. Sika would be in behind the D, fights off the defender, and scores past the Augsburg keeper, making it 1-0 Magdeburg on the road. In the 90th minute, some quick thinking here from a nice throw from Ghazal, finds Rieberger, who finds Jensen looking for his first goal, but he can't slot it by the keeper. No matter, that would end 1-0 for Magdeburg. Now focusing on cup competition, Wolfsburg would be coming to the MDCC Arena. Nemesha would get Wolfsburg on the board first with a shot from just outside the box, making it 1-0. However, Jensen would get his goal less than 2 minutes later as nice chest control and on the half volley makes it 1-1. Wolfsburg would get the lead back before the half as Nemecha again would get through the D. It would be a nice initial save by Reimer, but it's unluckily back to Nemecha to make it 2-1. But Magdeburg would keep fighting, and it would be Benjamin Kermeshi who does some hard work in the front third, slides it to Selke, who puts it past the Wolfsburg keeper, making it 2-2. This game would go all the way to penalties, and it would be Sika who had the chance to win this game, but it would be Grabara making a big save for Wolfsburg. Magdeburg could still win there, but Max Arnold puts it by Reimer, tying the game up, and then Huane tries to go down the middle. Grabara again with a big save, leading to Patrick Wimmer having the chance to win it, and he does with a cheeky finish down the middle. That's the end of the cup tie for Magdeburg, so now focusing again on the Bundesliga. And in the first half, there'd be a turnover, and it's Kermeshi again who steals the ball in the front third and feeds Selke again to make it 1-0 Magdeburg. There would be a chance to finish it in the 70th minute as Selke again would be played in. He scores past the keeper, making it 2-0, but unfortunately he would be ruled offside. The good news is Magdeburg again would be able to hold on, and Tommy Struth's men pick up another big 3 points. And now it's Bayern Munich coming to the MDCC arena, and this game would be very close, and it was Magdeburg who had the best chance of the game in the 67th minute, and Riebecker on the rebound unfortunately goes just wide. This game would have been fair to end in a 0-0 draw, but it'd be a moment of brilliance from Harry Kane, who goes by the D and scores, making it 1-0 Bayern on the road. That goal would secure all 3 points for Bayern Munich. Tough result for Magdeburg. Jumping now to other results, starting with a 2-1 loss at Wolfsburg, then a really tough 3-0 loss to Mainz at home, then a 2-1 loss to Frankfurt. The Sims are not being very nice to me this season. We'd finally get some kind of result against Heidenheim 1-0 at home. It did take the worst team in the league to get that result, but it's 3 points nonetheless. And lastly, a 3-1 loss to Freiburg away. That takes us to the January transfer window. After 15 games in the Bundesliga, FC Magdeburg sit in 15th position, 1 point above the relegation playoff. Taking a look at the goals for and goals against, it's pretty clear to see that the problem so far this season has been the offense, with only 8 goals scored in 15 games. That's less than Heidenheim has, and they have 1 point this season. I can say the thing we are taking advantage of is beating the teams that we should beat. I'm fairly certain our 4 wins have come against the 18th, 17th, 16th, and 14th place teams. It's now just trying to grind out some results against some of the bigger teams in this division. Taking a look at the stats for the season so far, Jason Sika leads the way with 2 goals. It's a far cry from the 29 goals that Attic and Sika had last season. I know that was Bundesliga too, and that was the end of the season, but currently they're on pace for a total of 8. So even though those 2 played fantastic for us last season, we might need to look for an upgrade in the January transfer window. So this is what we're going to call it on this episode. The start of the Bundesliga has not been very kind to FC Magdeburg, but we're going to try to get better going forward. Please leave your comments down below of players you think I should target in the January transfer window. Preferably make them loan moves this time around, because we only have $2 million or £2 million left to spend, so not the biggest budget remaining, but anything can help at this point. If you haven't already, please leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps out so much. The next episode of this series will be dropping Friday morning at 9 AM, and as always guys, thanks for watching.